guys, here we are at Mount Holdsworth. We had a good turnout today. I was expecting a few more, but we ended up with 4. So there's myself and Ollie and Jackson and Drink Bottle. So we're just out for a walk.
There's a draft in here.
There's a draft in here. I like that.
So cozy.
So cozy.
You know, mental health is a really complex and difficult thing to understand, and particularly for you know, people that are suffering from depression and anxiety, and you know, in my case, bipolar. There's obviously less bipolar people around than people with general depression, but it's extremely hard to explain. And I think one of the challenges is that you know, when you're depressed, you're really looking for, you're wanting to be happy, and obviously that's what all of our goals are, is to find happiness. But I think that what a lot of people really think they're looking for when they're looking for happiness is actually joy. And the thing with you know, happiness and joy, they're both emotions. They're a state of mind. They're a feeling. They're something that you know is that we don't have direct control over. But they're quite different. Joy is the kind of you know, fun, excitement, you know, extreme happiness, I guess, is what we call, is what joy is like. And really, it's short-lived. So it's joy's a little bit like a drug for people with depression, because that's what they think they need, even though they're calling it happiness. But it's very, very hard to create or you know, generate joy yourself just by thinking about it. And happiness is even harder, because happiness is a deeper sense, you know, feeling, a state. To be happy is far more complex than joy. And a lot of people go out and do things, you know, activities and things that generate joy for them. So they have a great, you know, weekend or a great holiday, or they go and do things, you know, that produces joy. But they go, you know, after that activity is finished, they'll eventually go back to, you know, feeling, you know, unfulfilled or dissatisfied, or, you know, if they're depressed, you know, their depression. But what I've found, you know, over the last, you know, 30 odd years, is that of basically being, you know, severely depressed most of the time, is that you can actually find happiness even when you're depressed. Now, I don't know of any research around this. This is only what I've found myself. But it is possible to learn how to be happy while your mind is depressed. If you have depression, you have depression. But if you've got treatment and you know, you're still at a level of depression, you can learn how to be happy. Now, it's not just a simple matter of going out in the bush, but that's the start of it. But you can't generate happiness and you can't generate joy. But something that you do have control over, that you can produce, is maruru, which is gratefulness, or a sense of thankfulness. And you can do that just with your thoughts. So you can pull up into your mind all of the things that you can be thankful for. Now, I know myself, when you start doing that, it doesn't give you any happiness at all. You know, I spent many months every single morning spending, you know, half an hour at least going through being thankful, going through a list of things to be thankful for, and still feeling like crap. But what happens is, as you start to recognise the things you're thankful for, there's a level of happiness that grows, a level of satisfaction and contentment and acceptance of your depression. So I know for a fact it is very possible to be depressed, have depression, and still be happy. Not joyful, but happy. Only 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, I spent nearly 4 days in without going outside. I spent 4 days every morning, as is often the case when I'm depressed, dragging myself out of bed at something like 9 or 10 o'clock after spending at least an hour lying in bed, maybe sometimes 2 hours, going through my mind various creative ways or ways I could take my own life with the least amount of impact or harm or pain to my family and friends. And I'd wake up every morning, go through the process of working out various, and I'm quite creative, so I come up with some great ways of getting rid of myself. But and then I would get up and spend several hours on the couch listening to and correlating my my Spotify playlist of my own funeral songs that I've put together. So if you can't think of a more morbid day, I had 4 of those in a row less than 2 weeks ago. But underneath it, all of that suicidal thoughts and depression, and I'm actually happy. And that sounds like a strange thing. And I don't seek joy because I know that it'll come. But how does this relate to Mental Health Week, Mental Health Awareness Week, and coming out in the bush? Because there's two things there. Firstly is that you want to make a commitment to do something. So initiating an improvement, firstly you want to take responsibility yourself, regardless of how suicidal you feel, regardless of how bad you feel. You need to begin to say, right, what can I do to help? I know there's a sense of helplessness. I know you can't do anything. I understand all that. I've been there. I understand it. But to get out of it, you have to do something. It doesn't matter how small. And for me, I spent it, most of last year sitting on a couch every morning, going through in my mind, saying that I'm thankful for my daughters. I'm thankful for, a list of things that, that I was thankful for. So you need to take some sort of action. Telling yourself you're thankful will eventually produce more happiness. Right? It'll begin to allow you to start making other steps. Exercise, diet, and I've got a shocking diet, so I can't talk to you about that. I know how hard it is. I still have a strong addiction to alcohol. There's all sorts of things. None of us are free of it, and I understand. But you just do what you can. So Mental Health Awareness Week, in conjunction with DOC, going out into the bush, why is that so important? It's not just because you're out getting some fresh air in amongst some foliage in the forest. It's because it opens your mind. If you just come out and go for a bushwalk, like today, when I left home, there was fluttering of snow. I couldn't believe it. First time all year. In fact, I think there's a little bit of hail just above the canopy at the moment, but making a commitment to do something to somebody else. See, like I probably wouldn't have come, well, I probably would have actually, but I may not have come today if I hadn't have organised the walk myself, given the weather and cold and Yep, that is small hail. If you come out in the bush, your mind opens up. If you also at the same time spend the time while you're walking just thinking about what you are grateful for, developing a sense of gratitude, you will come back from that walk, even if it's only half an hour, if it's 2 hours, you will come back feeling so much better. And if you do that on a consistent basis, your depression may not be cured. Your depression may not necessarily go away, but your sense of happiness will grow. And if you start to look for deep happiness, which is really a sense of happiness and fulfillment with what you're doing, then you can cope with your depression easier. When I was lying in bed every morning a couple of weeks ago thinking about how to kill myself, I've been through it so many times that I knew that I would get through it and that it would get better, and it did. And here we are. I'm out in the bush again this week. Lovely, beautiful day. So the other thing is that really does help is talking to a friend. A lot of people don't understand what you're going through, and understand that they simply don't have the capability of comprehending what you're going through. It's not that they're not interested or they don't want to know, or it's just it's like if you were trying to explain to them the difference between, say, the colour turquoise and the colour teal, but they've been blind all their life. They wouldn't be able to comprehend what you're talking about. And that's about what it's like when you try to talk to people about what you're going through. But sharing it, what I've always found is that if you do share it and you find people that you can trust in terms of being good friends, they're happy to support you even though they don't understand what it is you're going through. And I know sometimes that you just can't reach out. Sometimes when you're in the depth of depth of depression, reaching out, as you see the TV ads and say, just reach out. No, I've never been able to do that. You need friends that will realise you need to have a contact, for them to contact you. Absolutely, try to reach out when you can. And I'm at a stage now that I do actually reach out because I've got an established, just a couple of friends that I can go and talk to, and I can talk about it and get through it. But even as recently as a couple of weeks ago, I didn't do that, even though that friend was literally next door, which must have been hard on them, knowing that I was just up the drive going through that. But we're through it, and here we are. Hope that's a good message.